Imagine buying a McLaren 750S and parking it in your driveway only to use it to run errands like going to the grocery store. That's how most people are using ChatGPT right now. They're barely scratching the surface, asking for quick tips or casual advice, or even just a motivational pep talk when in reality, this tool can completely transform your business, your finances, and your life. The truth is, if you know how to use ChatGPT the right way, it can become the most valuable tool you'll use in modern society. This is not about novelty or hype. It's about practical systems that can earn you tens of thousands of dollars. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, I'm going to show you 4 powerful ChatGPT inputs that anyone can use, and after you use these inputs, you can ask ChatGPT to make you money as fast as possible. And it will break down not only how you can make money based on your personal needs, but also how you can implement the idea immediately. I talked about AI inputs in a previous video where I spoke about turning your last $50 into $30,000 in 60 days. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to take ChatGPT from being your casual brainstorming tool to becoming your virtual assistant, your pricing strategist, your financial advisor, and even your business partner, or in my case, your content creation assistant. And if you stick around, I'll show you a brand new feature called Agent Mode that turns ChatGPT into something almost indistinguishable from a real digital employee. So if you've been waiting for a sign to take AI seriously, this is it. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first way to start unlocking serious money with ChatGPT is by transforming it into more than just a question and answer machine. Right now, most people ask ChatGPT basic things like write me a to-do list or explain how X works. But what if ChatGPT actually knew your goals, your habits, and the areas where you struggle, and it would adjust its advice to make you sharper, more efficient, and ultimately more profitable? That's exactly what happens when you feed ChatGPT your chat history and allow it to analyze you like a digital mirror. Now, I've added a prompt right here so you can follow along and copy these exact same steps. So instead of treating ChatGPT like a stranger, you keep reintroducing yourself to it, and you can train it to act like your right-hand executive. When you provide ChatGPT with your background, your goals, and your sticking points, it begins to map out your behavior patterns. It identifies your strengths, your weaknesses, your blind spots, and opportunities. And yes, it can feel a little uncomfortable when you let an algorithm read you this accurately, but it's also one of the fastest ways to accelerate your growth. For example, if you tell ChatGPT your top priorities are financial freedom, building a business that runs without you, and creating world-class content, it will hold these goals at the forefront of everything that you do each time you interact. And for me, this is exactly what I use ChatGPT for. Instead of being like a cheerleader that blindly supports every idea, it becomes a strategic advisor, asking hard questions, changing my assumptions, and reminding me to take action rather than overthinking. You can set this up by going into your profile settings, activating custom instructions, and pasting this into the prompts that defines how ChatGPT should behave when working with you. And I'm going to show you how to do this in one moment. But think of this as writing the job description for your new virtual life coach or your new virtual assistant. You can even tell it to avoid fluff information, skip emojis, don't give you bullets, and just maintain a bias towards quick execution. Once you do this, every future conversation you have becomes sharper, more focused, and directly aligned with your financial goals. That's the difference between using ChatGPT casually versus using it as a serious tool. All right, now before we go over to ChatGPT, let's take a look at this prompt. So prompt number 1, this is going to be how you train your ChatGPT to improve your performance. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, go through all of our past conversations and point out the main themes that I tend to focus on, the areas where I usually get stuck, and the places where I perform at my best. I want you to highlight any opportunities that I may be overlooking that can move me closer to my goals, and also call out where I might be wasting time or directing my attention in ways that don't serve me. After that, craft a personalized prompt I can use to fine-tune your settings so you can act as an expert mentor and virtual assistant, keeping me accountable and accelerating my progress towards my goals. All right, so let's take this prompt and we're going to go over to ChatGPT now. Right now, we are on chatgpt.com. I do want to make note that I am on the ChatGPT Plus plan. I believe it's $20 a month. I'm not saying you need to subscribe to it or anything like that. I'm just telling you that's the plan that I currently use for my day-to-day operations with ChatGPT. Let's paste in our prompt. So ChatGPT is breaking down everything based on our past conversations so they can see patterns and clearly know exactly what to double down on and where to adjust things for my goals. Let's take a look at some of these, all right? So it says main themes that I consistently focus on: business credit and funding sequences, content creation and YouTube growth, wealth building strategies, community, and monetization. So that is the main things that I focus on as far as my channel. So areas where I usually get stuck: over iteration on scripts. You sometimes rewrite the same script multiple times with only slight changes, which delay new publishing output. So for me, I am a overachiever perfectionist. I do rewrite things a lot. My normal process is to basically say what I want and have it transcribed on my computer. I do talk to text, and then I take my talk to text, I put it into ChatGPT. I have it organize my ideas and structure them out. So that way I'm not doing too many ums and ahs and, buffer words and things like that. I got that idea from doing so many videos in the past, noticing that my videos were so long. I wanted to be more precise with my content. So content repurposing bottleneck, I often request breakdowns of YouTube content into social email assets, but don't always push those pieces live, meaning you're sitting on unused leverage. So there's a lot of things that I create that I never actually use or do anything else with. That's just me being a perfectionist. And it says that my focus is scattered. So it says that I deep dive into multiple financial strategies at once: credit repair, infinite banking, estate planning, crypto, affiliate plays. While each is valuable, splitting attention slows execution. Now, for me personally, I'm not going to take that advice. And again, it's your discernment. This thing doesn't know everything. I need to broaden my conversation. That's something that I am going to do regardless. Now, where you perform best: detailed script writing. You're excellent at transforming a raw concept into a polished, structured, engaging long-form script that educates and sells simultaneously. Funding strategy deep dives. I'm good at that. A YouTube engagement. It says I'm good at that. Opportunities I may be overlooking. Publishing velocity over perfection. Your best leverage point is speed to publish. Right now, I could double my YouTube output by cutting back on micro rewrites and trusting your scripts is good enough. So that's just like it telling me, like most of us, I overthink. I know it. Everybody does it. It's something that I'm working on. It says automation of repurposing. Every video you publish could instantly become a newsletter, a Twitter thread, 3 IG posts, a Discord prompt. You already do this occasionally, but turning it into a system would multiply reach. I do that and I understand I could be more effective. High ticket offer layers. You've got traffic, credibility, and trust. If you add a premium product like funding mastermind, consulting program, or done with you business credit setup, your income per subscriber skyrockets. Now, for me personally, I just don't like this particular offer because it's a business model that I see everyone else doing. And for me, I'm a little bit different because I don't see myself as a financial guru and I don't want to do masterminds or funding strategies or things like that. I have a totally different way that I make money, which it'll probably get into, I'm sure. Places you might be wasting time. Thumbnail and image micro editing. While visuals matter, you sometimes spend energy on tweaks. Your time is better spent scripting and publishing. Redoing instead of leveraging. Rewriting the same topic in 5 different versions eats up time. So basically what I got from this is that I spend way too much time rewriting stuff that should take me a very short period of time. I know that about myself. I am a perfectionist, so that tells me that I am wasting too much time doing the same thing over and over again. All right, so now that we know exactly what to work on, let's go ahead and click on our profile, and then we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to personalization. We're going to click on that and hit custom instructions. Here, we're going to actually paste all the prompts that ChatGPT has here. And you can have it give you a nickname. You could tell it what you actually do. Again, you're going to put whatever you do as far as your business or whatever you're trying to do to make money into here. And ChatGPT will make a custom instruction just for you with your own custom prompt. Now, you can pick how you want your ChatGPT to behave. I like straight shooting. I like forward thinking. I don't like you to give me fluff. I don't need you to praise me. Just give me exactly where I can improve. I'm a straight shooter. And then anything else you want ChatGPT to know, you can add here, and then you click save. Once you have done this, you've made sure that your ChatGPT is basically trained on your goals and exactly how to make you more effective. Now, the second prompt is all about clarity. Most people say they want financial freedom, but very few can actually put a number on what that means. Does it mean making $5,000 a month or $20,000 a month? Enough to travel whenever you want? Enough to retire early? Without a target, you'll never know when you have arrived. This is where ChatGPT compared with the financial calculator can become priceless. Instead of guessing, you can actually calculate what your dream life will cost compared to the average American income. Here's how it works. First, you describe the details of your ideal life. What kind of home do you want to live in? What kind of food do you want to eat every week? How often do you want to travel? And where do you want to go? Do you want to drive a luxury car, or are you content with something simple? Once you paint that picture, ChatGPT will estimate how much your lifestyle costs compared to the average American family. Maybe your ideal home is double the average cost. Maybe your vacations are 20 times more expensive than the average family trip. Or maybe you're modest in some areas, but extravagant in others. Whatever the breakdown, ChatGPT will show you the percentage in each category, and then you can plug in whatever numbers you would like. Suddenly, instead of you just saying, I want to be financially free one day, you can actually say, I need $12,500 a month to live my dream lifestyle. That's your financial freedom number. From there, you can reverse engineer how many clients you need, or how many sales that you need, or what pricing structure will get you there. In the past, this type of process would take hours of research, and I know because I've made people do it manually. Now, with ChatGPT, you can achieve the same level of clarity in minutes. And once you know the number, every business decision you make, from what services you offer to how you price them to how many hours you need to work, suddenly becomes laser focused. All right, so let's take a look at prompt number 2. I'd like to understand how much additional income I'd need in order to support my ideal lifestyle versus what the average American lives on. Please break down the monthly costs for each of the following categories based on this upgraded lifestyle, and then show me what the percentage increase would be compared to the average American spending. All right, so let's take our prompt and we're going to see exactly what the numbers break down to. So currently we are back on the ChatGPT website. We have our prompt ready. Let's go ahead and input this so we can see what happens. All right, so it's going to break this down step by step, and it's going to give us the average American baseline. So it says that the average American spending baseline. So according to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the average household spends about $72,000 per year, or roughly $6,000 a month. And then there's a rough breakdown of how everything is. So housing, food, transportation, healthcare, entertainment and recreation, clothing and personal care, and then miscellaneous things. So then it gives us an upgraded ideal lifestyle and what that looks like. And it doubles basically the average American household. So let's keep scrolling down. So what that means for income. To sustain this lifestyle responsibly, you'd want after-tax income to cover $15,400 a month, which is about $185,000 a year net. So for me, I'm looking to go a little bit higher. So let's actually do 10 times the average, because I like to just shoot up. Me personally, I plan at making $1 million a year at the very least at some point. So let's make my goals conducive of that. And again, you guys can change this to whatever it is that you would prefer. Maybe it's not 10 times the average. Maybe it's 5 times. Maybe it's 20 times. Your goals may be bigger than mine. It's up to you to decide exactly what you would like to do. So now it's mapping out what its lifestyle would look like compared to both the average American household and the ideal lifestyle that we just built. So let's just scroll all the way down to the bottom. So now it says for us to sustain this lifestyle, we would need to make $60,000 a month in net income, which is $720,000 a year net. That's pre-tax. Assuming 30 to 35% effective taxes, you'd roughly need $1.05 million per year gross income. I would say this is almost ideally what I would like to do. Now let's reverse engineer this process. So we already know in order for us to make this amount of money, we need to make $60,000 every single month. So let's break down what that is in a 30-day time frame. So in 30 days, you need to make $2,000 every single day in order to do that. Okay, well, if I need to make $2,000 every single day, then what is that as far as sales go? Let's say we need 30 sales a day. What would 30 sales a day be? So basically, if you sold a product or a service or did something that would make you $66.66, all you would need to do is sell that product or service to 30 people a day. If you did that, you would end up with $2,000 per day. And then if you did $2,000 per day for 30 days, you would end up with $60,000. And then if you did that for a year, then you would hit our exact goal. That sounds good to me. Well, that's the $720,000, but I think that you get the point. If you reverse engineer the process, whichever way that you look at, you can break it down to how a smaller goal can help you achieve exactly what you want for your bigger goal. It's easy for me to say, oh, $66 a day to 30 people. That to me is easier than to just say $720,000. And now that I've broken it down and I understand what I need to do, let's actually have ChatGPT tell me the ideal client, product, or service that I need in order to hit that number. So now that we know exactly what our freedom number is, let's talk about pricing, because this is one of the biggest breakthroughs that separates people who struggle from people who thrive. Most entrepreneurs think about their market or their niche in terms of volume, then try to price themselves for the average person, and then wonder why they can't scale. But here's the reality. In every market, in every niche, in every industry, the top 20% of customers control 80% of the money. If you're only targeting the bottom 80%, you're fighting over scraps. And this is where ChatGPT can give you a massive advantage. By feeding it information about your audience and your services, it can help you identify different tiers for your market. You'll want to ask yourself a few questions like who's in the mass audience with a small budget, who's in the mid tier with more flexibility, and most importantly, who's in the top 20% with deep pockets and the willingness to pay premium prices for premium solutions. And that's the other key. If you're going to be charging premium prices, you need to have great solutions to problems. Think about it like this. A private personal trainer working with someone who earns $70,000 a year is solving the same problem as a trainer who's working with a billionaire. Naturally, the billionaire is going to pay much more for the solution, and they expect a different level of service. ChatGPT can help you analyze these value tiers and then brainstorm different delivery models for each. The mass market might get a group program or maybe like a digital course, while the top tier market might get a private consultation or in-person support or even a concierge style service where you live alongside the client for a week. Now, I'm just giving you an example based off of business models on the internet right now, but you can pretty much apply this to any industry. It doesn't have to just be courses or content. It could be service or just doing things like landscaping or other business models. Whatever the case may be, by identifying these distinctions, you can position your business to serve customers at every level without underpricing yourself. I personally use this strategy with my own YouTube channel by repositioning my services and aiming at clients with bigger budgets, usually brands. I was able to increase my fees from $2,500 to $5,000 for a single piece of content. And by the time this video comes out, those prices will definitely be raised again for anybody watching. And the best part is, because I'm able to free up more time by being more precise with some of the things that ChatGPT told me about myself, I'm able to focus more on the content, and the clients are finally getting the level of value that they want based on the price. ChatGPT won't give you theoretical advice here. It's going to actually help you craft personas, calculate what each segment is worth, and suggest how to package and deliver your offer in a way that maximizes revenue. All right, so we're looking at prompt number 3, finding the customers who can actually afford you. So the prompt is as follows. I like to get a clear picture of the different groups of people who would see real value in what I'm offering. The guiding principle here is simple. The amount you earn is directly tied to the size of the problem you solve, measured by how valuable the solution is to the person experiencing it. With that in mind, here's what I'd like you to do for me. Number 1, break down my ideal customer profile and target audience. Number 2, define at least 3 separate value levels ranging from the least valuable to the most valuable. Number 3, show me how each level views and experiences the problem in their own way. Number 4, recommend an approximate price point and position the strategy for serving each tier effectively. Now we're back on ChatGPT. I do want to add that for this particular prompt, I did include based on this income I'd like to. So just know that I did add that additional part at the beginning. Let's say that you went through this whole process and you don't have the exact same tab pulled up. ChatGPT will more than likely use the exact same number that you wanted for your annual income without you having to repeat it. But you can also add that here to the prompt as well. So let's go ahead and have it actually configure some numbers based off of what we're looking at. Now, I just want to remind you guys, if you have followed everything everything in this video thus far. Again, everything that you should be seeing is based off of what you're doing with your business and the information that you've been putting into ChatGPT. But we're looking at this from my personal information, my personal business, what I'm doing right now. So number one, value level one is mass market. Problem equals financial survivor. Everyday consumers or beginners in business finance, their income is usually from 40K to 80K in the household. They feel stuck in debt, paycheck to paycheck, or lacking financial knowledge. So the biggest pain is uncertainty, lack of clarity, fear of making a mistake, how they see the problem. So remember, I always say value is most important. If you work at a job right now, you should not be getting paid by the hour. You should get paid by the result, by the value that you provide. So we know what the problem is. So what they value most: clear step-by-step solutions, easy wins. People like easy wins, man. I'm going to tell you, a lot of the best videos that I have are where things are easy step-by-step. People just like things that are not very complicated, which makes a lot of sense. And proof that this works for people like me. They need guidance, not sophistication. There's always things that are going to be based off of the majority, but the nicher that you get, the more complex that the information will become. That's why I have different levels of content. I have basic stuff that show you step by step, and I can go, very intricate into a lot of different things. I make things for different levels of people and where they are at, which is why I have so many conversations. Now, this is giving me a price point of $47 to $297 for courses, memberships, and challenges. So that's not too different from what I think I already do now. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at value level number 2. So it says established professionals or small business owners. They have income from 100K to 250K. They're not in crisis, but they're plateaued. They want more income, they want more credit access or scalable systems. Their biggest pain is being capped by current resources and struggling to fund growth. I actually noticed the people who are kind of in the middle that I talk to as far as business coachings. Now, their price point would be $1,000 to $5,000 for programs, for group coachings, for masterminds. As you guys know, this isn't really my thing, coachings and masterminds. I'm really a person who just documents my journey, and I'm more of a creator of content, but it's not just finance content. That just is the avenue of this channel. I have plans to do way more as far as music, movies later down the line. This is going to get me there. So this isn't really the thing that I would want to do, but if you are in this niche and you want to have the traditional route, $5,000 to $1,000 price points is pretty good. Now we're looking at value level number 3. These are high net worth builders. Problems equal wealth, multiplication equals protection. So these are entrepreneurs, investors, executives. Believe it or not, this is kind of where my focus is currently at this time, with price points of $15,000 to $100,000 for private consulting, elite masterminds, custom strategies, done for you services. So let's look at pulling it together. Tier 1 is mass market. They pay for survival, sell roadmap out of the struggle. So that's letting you know if there's anybody in this particular tier for what I'm doing, you want to help them get out of their current pain point. Tier 2 is growth seeker. They pay for acceleration. They want proven systems that unlock the next level. Kind of do this again with coaching. I feel like tier 1 is really for all of the content that I put on YouTube, especially if any of my earlier videos. In tier 3, they pay for leverage, sell exclusive asset protection and strategies. I do something like this with companies. So I think that's my higher in net worth. But what I will say is, looking at how much that it says I should be charging, I might be selling myself short, and I may have to start charging these guys $15,000 at the very least for a single service. So that might be what I might change to help me get to the price point that I want to be at, and have maybe just tier 1, tier 2 for everyday people, because I don't want to charge much higher than what I'm charging. But for tier 3, they're paying for something that is a really high value service, and I'm providing that. They have to pay a little bit more. So let's see what the big takeaway is. If you want to hit that $1 million a year income level, supporting that lifestyle that we mapped out earlier, your revenue won't come from serving tier 1 at scale. It'll come from tier 2 and tier 3, where the problems are bigger, more valuable, and the price point can justify deep transformation. So there you go. I guess the whole point of this is going to be to target high tier clientele in order to get to that number that you would like. So now we've reached the most exciting part, agent mode. This is where ChatGPT stops being a passive assistant and it starts acting like an active digital employee. Agent mode allows ChatGPT to leave the sandbox of your conversation and actually interact with the internet. It can browse websites, it can click links, it can read transcripts, and execute tasks in real time. Imagine telling ChatGPT to analyze your last 3 YouTube videos and extract all key teaching points and then create both written content and visual assets for you. With agent mode, it can do exactly that. Now, I tested this by asking ChatGPT to analyze my long form videos and to break them into teaching segments and then create threads on Twitter or X, blog posts for Instagram, and inspirational image ideas. It even included call to action pointing back to my website. Within around like 15 minutes, it had produced usable content that would have taken me hours to create manually. What's incredible is that you can control the style and tone of what it produces. I told it not to generate AI avatars and instead to stick with a landscape with a text background, like something very simple, not too complex. The results weren't perfect, but it was surprisingly strong for a first attempt, and with a little refining, it can become content that I can actually share. Now think about the possibilities beyond content. With agent mode, ChatGPT can research competitors, write outreach emails, generate leads, manage your schedule, and potentially even handle customer service in the future. For $20 a month, you're essentially hiring a tireless assistant who can learn and adapt faster than most human employees. And this is not science fiction. This is available right now, and the people who start learning it today are going to be miles ahead of those who wait. So I'm going to go ahead and add this prompt. And this prompt is, I'm not going to have to read it to you because it's really just for me, honestly. It's something that really only applies, but you can customize this to whatever your business needs are. All right, guys, we are back on the ChatGPT website. I have my prompt here and I just want to show you exactly how to find agent mode. You would hit the plus here on the side and you would look for agent mode. Now it says I only have 38 times left that I can use this, so I don't want to waste it. I went ahead and did this yesterday and it did take about 15 minutes for it to load, but I just want to show you what the results look like. And this is what ChatGPT gave me, like based on the latest 3 long form content videos from my channel. It gave me written content that I can use on X and I can just copy and paste. It gave me standalone tweets. It gave me nurture emails that I can just copy and paste if I needed to for, let's say, like an email list or anything like that. And again, I made the visual content very, very easy because the more complex you make this, the longer that it would take. So I just did like basic landscape background with the quote. Of course, if I got way more detailed, I can make this look like amazing, but this is something where I wouldn't have to do it myself. I could plug in all this information and have it run several different tasks at the same time. If we think back to that video where I talked about AI inputs, this is something that's very new. Imagine the person who plays with this and really gets to learn this system in order for them to scale their business. Really, sky is the limit as far as what this can actually do. Right now, we're currently standing at the edge of a massive shift. In the same way that the internet created millionaires who recognized its potential early, AI is creating a new wave of opportunity. The question is whether you'll be one of the people who use it casually for trivia or one of the people who use it strategically to build wealth, freedom, and lasting success. By turning ChatGPT into your virtual assistant, calculating your financial freedom number, identifying your target premium clients, and embracing agent mode, you are essentially rewiring the way that you run your business. And the beauty is that none of this requires you to spend thousands of dollars. The barrier to entry is $20 a month and a willingness to experiment. So here's the challenge that I'll leave you with. Pick one of these strategies, it doesn't matter which one, implement it this week. Do not overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The people who succeed with AI are the ones who try, test, and refine. And if you're serious about building wealth and freedom, please hit that subscribe button right now, because the people who take action today are the ones who will look back 5 years from now and say, that was the turning point. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you got any value from this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if there's any other AI tools that you would like me to go over. And if you were able to use these prompts, do you think that the suggestions that were made will actually increase your business profitability? Also, let me know if you'd be interested in getting any more prompts from different AI tools. I'd be more than happy to make other videos like this. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.